Upon our arrival, Zakaria, Hamza, and I exchanged words and laughs with Hassan, the owner of the motel. In the morning, we set out on our journey. Along the path, the innocent smiles of children emerged like precious gems. Accompanied by their faithful mules, these little family helpers carry with them the simplicity of a life intertwined with nature. Zakaria and Hamza distribute to the children the gifts, mostly clothes, that they had brought with them. With measured gestures and attentive eyes, the warmth of the gifts reaches a group of women, guardians of smiles and kindness, who welcome the clothes with great joy. We resume our journey on rocky paths, winding through curves that hide promises of wonder. On the plateau, I capture the enthusiasm that unfolds before our eyes. A vintage truck, a kaleidoscope of green and blue, crosses the scene, a vivid contrast against the backdrop of a nature that is tinged with sand and time. Among mountains sculpted by the wind and the sun, the green of life makes its way, embracing the homes of those who have chosen to call this corner of the world home. Rocks of all shapes and sizes dot the path, and then a small waterfall, with a small tree that seems to watch over the flow of the water, captures the gaze and the heart. Our odyssey takes us across a vast land, where the aridity of the land deceives the eye, but it only takes a moment to catch the flashes of green that spring from the meadow, like brush strokes on a barren canvas. Scattered houses, almost hidden, peek out from between the branches. And then, in the blink of an eye, the landscape changes. We are transported to another planet, a land that recalls Mars, with its boulders, craters, and ruins of a time gone by. But then water, the source of life, brings us back to reality. We are not on a distant planet, but in a hidden corner of the earth, vibrant with life and wonders to be discovered. Once we reach the river, we meet a local lady, guardian of ancient stories. Zakaria and Hamza quench their thirst with the pure and fresh water of the spring. The taste is unforgettable, as evidenced by Zakaria's ecstatic look, a sip of nature that contains the essence of this unforgettable journey, an adventure that flows like the river itself, unstoppable and full of life. Zakaria, Hamza, and I trudge up the mountain slope, our footsteps echoing against the ancient rocks. The path is littered with a huge mosaic of stones. Massive boulders rise everywhere, precarious and ready to roll at the slightest movement. Our laughter echoes through the valleys, lightly pushing away the shadow of danger. We embarked on this journey carefree, no sophisticated equipment, no adequate shoes. Our cell phones, without signal, in this remote solitude, remain silent. The winding paths extend for miles, reminiscent of an Italian western. These jagged peaks seem to have come out of a Sergio Leone film. Here we are finally at the legendary Lake Ifni. The sun shines high, and under a gazebo, we seek refuge from the burning heat. We breathe in the fresh air, and with decisive steps, we approach the lake, ready to immortalize the moment with shots that will become indelible memories. Every now and then, the lens glimpses a solitary structure, a refuge for nocturnal adventurers, where sleeping bags become cozy nests. Nordin, a local boy, welcomes us into his little kiosk, a miniature world, complete with pans, tagines, teapots, and a treasure chest of snack bars. We sip Moroccan tea. The aroma mingles with the view of the lake, and every sip is a tribute to the beauty that surrounds us. The return is a climb that tests us, and my face tells every step. But Nordin, with the wisdom of hidden paths, guides us through shortcuts that defy the sunset. Together with Nordin, we exchange words with a man who is slowly building a stone house. The pauses become moments to breathe in nature, which as the sun sets, is tinged with magic. We explore unique stones, witnesses of ancient stories, and then meet workers who, with hammers in their hands, give new shape to the rock. Local children, playful spirits, ask for water, and we gladly give it to them. The path to the motel is a crossroads of lives. Men and children, on faithful mules, share the road back. At the motel, the meeting with a boy with a big heart, who gives us a seam that works in these places. The morning light makes its way through the leaves, announcing the beginning of the second day in the pulsating heart of Toubkal. In the greenery of the park, we enjoy a genuine breakfast with stone-baked bread, olive oil, honey, egg omelette, and Moroccan tea. Between one laugh and another, a particularly enterprising goat earns our affection, becoming an accomplice in games and pranks. Then I ride the wave of enthusiasm and launch myself into an adventure on a mule. They ask me to interpret for 3 tourists. We invite them to dinner, after the girls delight us with their music. It's day 3, and with an adventurous spirit, we pile into the taxi van. As the van makes its way through the city, I cast worried glances at the gear lever, perilously close to a danger zone. It may be an uncomfortable ride, but it is also the continuation of an adventure that none of the 3 of us will forget. Every square inch counts. The van is so full that some passengers have even found space on the roof. With a firm step and curious glances, we cross the threshold of the market, a melting pot of life and colors. Here, among the stalls, a world of hoes and spades unfolds, silent witnesses of the hard work in the fields. But the market is also a stage of joy for the little ones. Bright eyes fall on the target shooting, where the rifle becomes an instrument of innocent challenges. Then, in the company of a local child who knows every nook and cranny of the place, we venture through the streets of an ancient village. The houses of rock and straw silent witnesses of a past that resists, welcome us in an embrace of history and tradition. Back at the motel, a last dinner with tourist friends. New day, new goal. Today we are headed to a beautiful waterfall, the one we see from the motel terrace. But before we reach it, we have a long way to go. We climb the ancient stone steps and cross a village where time seems to have stopped. We are no longer alone on the path, but we are escorted by a group of local children. And to make sure we don't miss anything, we are also in the company of a varied group of sheep and goats. Now enough talking. Let's let the images do the talking.
trying to keep their eye on me.
Dear God, I wonder, can you save me?
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body.
Dear God, I wonder, can you save me? I can't die, I can't die.
We enjoy the view as we walk back. It is long, but every corner offers beautiful views and unusual scenes.
Can you save me? I can't die, I can't die.
Back at the motel, Zakaria and Hamza sleep, then a starry walk. The fifth day begins with breakfast on the terrace, overlooking the waterfall we explored yesterday. Then, we set off, ready for a new adventure. The route takes us through landscapes that seem to come out of a spaghetti western, with canyons and deserts that stretch as far as the eye can see. It is a unique and still uncontaminated natural theater, where every bend in the path reveals a new wonder. And now, as Sergio Leone would say, action!
The name on the bottom of this stone. You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. You dig.
Hey, Crusoe.
last day here in Tubkal, the mule drinks, then sets off at a gallop, carrying his master on his back. We follow the same road the mule took, curious to find out where it will take us. Here, we are invited to dinner by a man riding his mule. But before dinner, a long walk awaits us. Let's go. Okay, send the drop.
Good guy.
After giving snacks to the local boys, we head towards a traditional house. Here, the gentleman who had invited us a few hours earlier for an unforgettable dinner is waiting for us. After dinner, we set off in total darkness, with a large load of nuts on our shoulders, bought by the owner of the house. With a hint of sadness, we have arrived at the last day of the trip to Tubkal. The van is loaded with a bag full of nuts, oil and honey, ready to travel one last time on the breathtaking road, immersed in spectacular landscapes. Now, let the images speak for themselves.
tried contact with us by radio, we've developed a language computer. A machine that breaks down any language of our own.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born.
All of them.
Once in Warzazet, we decided to visit one of the most famous film studios in the world, where iconic films and TV series were shot.